Files in many formats are created and used every day, whether at home with online banking or using a GPS app, at school doing research or authoring papers, or at work designing or manufacturing a component. File-centric applications that accurately understand and completely extract information from files support regulatory compliance, data security, quicker access to answers, improved collaboration. This allows our use of files at home, school, or work to avoid consequences like fines, court sanctions, damage to reputation, dissatisfied customers, failed proposals, or data leaks. Let's take a look at file format categories and some examples within. The Office formats such as word processing, spreadsheets, and presentations have many types. Some are popular commercially or are open source. Others are common in particular countries. Japan with the Ichitaro format and Korea with Hangul Office. Image, audio, and video also continue to change with new compression or encoding schemes. CAD files have also expanded beyond basic design to support new technologies like 3D manufacturing and complex rendering and animation. Within the zip format family, compression algorithms in open source versus proprietary result in many variations. And if you're interested in extracting and processing the contents of zip files, you need to distinguish between many dozens of formats that use variants of zip as their core file format versus actual zip files. Within analytics, these file formats represent the proprietary data exports, projects, preferences produced by BI applications. Specialized XML represent formats like XBRL, XLIFF, WML, SMIL, and dozens more. As with source code, treating each XML schema distinctly is more valuable if you can do it. The cited examples in each category are but a subset of what is in the market, representing just the modern formats. There are many more formats within each category, and this is especially true when you account for format variations driven by new versions of a given application, innovations that open source and up and coming proprietary solutions continue to introduce, and legacy applications. Now let's take a look at operations that are commonly performed on file formats outside of the native applications. Step 1, really step 0, is automatic format detection. I call it step 0 because automatic format detection defines the next steps to take. And if a file is misdetected, there will be an impact to downstream operations. I bet you didn't think there were so many things that you'd want to do with files. Let's take a look at some challenging scenarios. The Power BI file shown is technically a zip file. You can open it in 7-zip or WinZip or most other zip file tools. An inferior file format detector would see this file as a PKZip file. Micro Focus Keyview sees it as a Power BI desktop produced file, our internal format code 741. You might ask yourself, why does proper format detection really matter? The open file marked with the red X is an example of noise, and on the right is Keyview extracting useful text. Incorrectly detecting and treating a Power BI file as a zip file would result in extracting the zip file contents and treating each extracted file as something to process. This would result in search engines indexing slower and likely with degraded search speed, DLP solutions inspecting extra data, which would incur more processing time and potentially reporting false positives, or worse, report a false negative because it couldn't read the contents properly, thus letting sensitive data leak. And there are dozens of common file formats that are just like this one, a zip file in disguise. Not all text in documents is clearly visible. In this case, the demonstration PowerPoint file has visible text, including a footer, comments, and text on the slide master. Comments and slide master text are hidden in the presentation view, as shown on the right. Here are 3 outputs from Keyview Filter SDK with varying settings enabled. On the left is visible text including footer, the middle is visible text and comments, the output on the right adds slide master text. And remember that many file formats have similar types of hidden text, including other Office type formats from all vendors, OneNote, PDF, and many others. Sensitive or proprietary data can be easily leaked when represented as visible or hidden text. Did you know that PDF files can contain other files? It's called a PDF portfolio file. For example, a PDF portfolio can include text documents, email messages, spreadsheets, CAD drawings, and PowerPoint presentations. A search on Google yielded this sample PDF portfolio file where both google.com and most all web browsers think this file is a simple PDF. In Adobe Acrobat, you can see there are 5 files in this PDF portfolio. Older versions of Micro Focus Keyview used to think this was just a plain PDF file, as many other systems still do. But Keyview now treats it as a distinct file format type. And when Keyview performs subfile extraction on this file, 5 files are extracted as expected. Each of these files can then be individually processed as whatever subfiles they may be, PDF, images, etc. The interesting thing is that solutions that are not PDF portfolio aware will likely detect this as a PDF and may crash, mishandling the file. Or maybe worse, not crash and simply extract out such useless text as, for the best experience, open this PDF portfolio in ... message. With the proliferation of the cloud, an increasingly distributed workforce, and the need to protect intellectual property, rights managed files are increasing in their use. Here's a Microsoft RMS encrypted Word document before and after I provide my credentials. Keyview can detect that this file is protected and specifically encrypted. The XRML metadata containing the information supporting decryption can be extracted. Both standard and RMS metadata as well as the document text can be extracted. Finally, Keyview Panopticon can just decrypt the file where Keyview detects the decrypted file as a normal Word document. Have you ever wished you hadn't exposed sensitive information to others? I know that I've accidentally done it. Let's take a look at a method to avoid it. Here's a simple Excel file with some PII, or personally identifiable information, in it. In this case, a spreadsheet file is submitted to the idle view service, and it's converted to HTML by the embedded Keyview export SDK and selectively redacted by the embedded idle eduction SDK and PII grammars. Have you ever been to CAD file sharing sites like GrabCAD or CAD Crowd and seen the many dozens of different applications and file formats behind computer-aided design? For engineering and design companies, CAD files are their intellectual property and thus their business currency. Proper identification and other processing can result in being able to find prior designs faster, reducing wasted time and rework, improved collaboration amongst the design team and clients, and protecting intellectual property. As of Keyview 12.8, nearly 100 CAD file formats are understood. You now may be wondering how your products and services that depend on successful file format handling can be improved. Micro Focus Keyview, the market-leading solution for file format processing, is packaged and licensed in a few different ways: Filter SDK, Export SDK, View SDK, and Panopticon SDK. These SDKs are designed to be embedded into other software products and services. This means they are available on multiple hardware platforms and operating systems. And it also means APIs for C, C++, Java, and .NET are available to make integrating into various programming environments easy. This flexibility allows for diverse deployment options like servers, cloud, and endpoints, all with the same file format processing engine. As of the Keyview 12.8 release, over 1,500 file formats are supported. I hope that you're now more aware of what's involved with file format processing and why it matters. Contact us to join the Keyview community.